X-Men.
Hello YouTube, this is BUB'S Comics coming at you with a quick little comic haul. I've been working on my X-Men run, so let's get into it. I'm really happy with this one. So this was a book I went to the most recent con looking for specifically. It was I didn't put it on my want list because I try and save those books for really big books. Books that are like, you know, the kind of books where you want to break out the credit card or work out a payment plan. You know, those books go on my 2019 want list like this one was. But this is going to be an X-Men haul, and the first book on it is X-Men 98. So now correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first appearance of, or it's the first time that the X-Men the new X-Men team battled the Sentinels. And that's important to me because I love Wolverine and the Sentinels together. So that's a super big thing for me, and to get the Sentinels and Wolverine, especially on the cover, bashing in that guy's head. I don't know if you can see that. We'll get it up closer for you. Look at that. That's freaking awesome. I love that. This whole cover is really, really good. I love Colossus getting beat down with the backhanded bitch slap by by the Sentinel. I didn't know that they had that ability. Here's Nightcrawler swinging around. Storm coming after him, Cyclops trying to beat him through the chest. Just pretty awesome. I love this book, love this cover. As everything about this book, it says the Sentinels are back, enough said. And that's the way it should be. So I absolutely love this book. This was the book I was after at the con. Found it at a ridiculously low price. And then worked it down some from there. So, yeah, anyway. Then I'm working on kind of a Dark Phoenix run. I don't know. I'm somewhere between their first new team appearance after Giant Size X-Men 1. So that would be what, 94, I think. And then I'm working from 94 on up, and I'm just filling in gaps as I see them reasonably. Most of them are going to be reader copies. I did want a nice copy of this one, so that's why this one looks so minty. But only the books that I really care about am I looking for high grade copies. The rest are just going to be fill-in reader copies. So such is the case with this one, number 128. This one is beat all to heck. And this is the quote unquote variant edition, right? Because it's got the direct edition there where they struck out the barcode. So and there you go. So that's X-Men 128. Uncanny. Not much going on there, but it's filling in the gaps. And then also here's another one, X-Men 138. So there's another one where it says Exit Cyclops. You can see the damage on that book. So it's had a little bit of water damage, but I checked it. There's no mold or anything like that, and that's usually what I go by. A little bit of damage is fine, but I mean, I picked this book up for $1. Actually less than $1. So and same thing with this one behind it. So when that happens, I'm not really too worried about it. I just pay what I gotta pay and fill in the run. And that's kind of how my X-Men run is gonna be. Just pretty much reader copies, except for the keys, and the keys I'm looking for higher grades. This next book I've been looking for a few months or longer. It's the second part of the Days of Future Past storyline. It's X-Men 142. And this book has got a little bit of sun fading to it, if you can see it, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. Other than that, the book is in excellent condition. See, it's very clean. So what happened with this book is that the guy I had seen the book twice at the show, and one guy had it for like, I think it was like $25 and 25% off that, so it's going to be somewhere around $20. And that was fine. I was kind of willing to pay that, the going rate for this book in decent condition is going to be anywhere from 25 to 30 bucks, and then higher for high grade, of course. So for me, this book at $20 was already a pretty good buy, but I was suffering because every time I saw the book early on, but I passed it up, and then I kept looking for more copies of the book, and I hadn't come across any, so I kept circling back to see if the book was still there. It was. And then, as you know, every time you take another walk through the con, you come back, you got a little bit less money. So, so I was going through the con, had less and less money going through. So finally, when I got around to one dealer's table who was going through something totally different, and it was a dealer that I had already passed up once because I thought his prices were a little ridiculous. I said, you know what, let me look through his X-Men run. And he had a box of books that he had not sorted yet. And he said, yeah, those are unsorted. So I went through those, and he had this one on there, and the bag that it was in looked like it had been peed on, and like all the other bags that he had were all newer, so I guess he was rebagging and boarding his comics. But this box he hadn't gone through yet was just nasty. It was so gross. It was yellow, and you know, kind of make your fingers feel bad when you touch it. So anyway, he had this book in that box, and it was so messed up, and I showed it to him, and I was like, well, and he was like, I'd probably do it for like 20, and I was like, you know, and at this point I was way out of money, and I think I was down to like $15, and I was like, you know, I'll do it for like 10 bucks. I said I would do 10. And he was like, I don't know. I said, it's pretty rough. And the bag was what was rough. But when I showed it to him, he took it, he held it. He was like, yeah, it looks pretty bad. He's like, I'll do 10. Why not? So he did 10, and there you go. So I got this book for 10 bucks. And then put it in a nice fresh Mylar. And boy, doesn't that make it look minty fresh. Yay! Sun faded, like I said, but that doesn't bother me too bad. Depends on the cover. For this cover, it's very simple colors. It's a very simple palette, so that doesn't bother me at all. Next, we have the last one in this little haul, and it's Uncanny X-Men number 500. So this is a Greg Land cover. It's got a wraparound, although I'm not going to take it out right now. And I just like this book. You know, this is one of those books that Greg Land got a little bit of trouble for, saying that he had traced a couple of the images in it. You know, none of that. I don't really care, because I put it like this. I couldn't even trace this good, so I don't care. Greg Land's one of my favorite artists. Really, that Storm is absolutely gorgeous. He did a great job on that. Colossus looks perfect. You know, really, I think he has kind of a Jim Lee style in this book, but it's modern and tighter. You know, it has a tighter modern look, more painted. So just did a fantastic job. Again, Greg Land, one of my favorite artists, and I'm slowly picking up most of his run on Uncanny X-Men, which is in the 500s or so. So that's it. So I hope y'all enjoyed that little run, and I'll leave you with X-Men 98, what I believe is the first attack on the new team by the Sentinels. And there you go. He's fighting them off. So thank you all, and when you get done watching this video, read a comic. Thanks. Bye.